Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What is up, ladies and fellas, and welcome back to History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, this time with Premium Gold, Infinite Gold. God, I hate saying that name because it sounds so weird saying gold repeatedly in a name like that. They did not cook with this name, but I think this is our second gold set that we are doing in the History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. And just like last time, it's just everything is just printed in different gold rarities. We have, I think, 20 or 21 new cards, and then just a bunch of stuff that has been introduced already. So let's just briefly take a look at the set and see what we are working with. So we have a bad monarch that we are getting a bunch of also extra deck monsters of varying qualities, like Bishalkin, Star Charge Warrior, Hope Harbinger, Dragon Titanic Galaxy, actually a really good 8, and then Tarantula, Gainer, and the Seven Sins, the famous, not even probably that, Spidey Squad, most probably prevalent in just like rank 10 Xyz spam stuff, but most likely nothing that we're gonna be worrying about for a little while. Phantom Knights also get a few more traps here. Shade Brigandine probably being the most prevalent one. It simply you just get to spell summon at a level 4 body, and it's no longer treated as a trap anymore. And then Beatrice for Burning Abyss also gets released here. I'm not sure if we've seen this before. I want to say no, but Beatrice, a generic level 6, or you can exit summon it by sending a Burning Abyss monster from your hand to graveyard and then using a Dante monster you control as material. And then if you summon it using this way instead of the 2 level 6 monsters, you can't use the quick effect this turn, but it has a quick effect where you basically get to just foolish a card from your deck to the graveyard. It doesn't have to be specifically a monster, you can send anything. And then if it's destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you can pull summon a Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So most likely you will just get the fusion or the synchro. Then we just have a bunch of stuff that we've seen already at the hands. We have a bunch of Kozmos here as well, Kozmo stuff. And some pretty like generically good counter traps and trap hole stuff as well as Maxi, a bunch of BM monsters also returning here as well as Luster Pendulum and Eccentric. Obviously 2 very good and generic Pendulum monsters. Also get like Kimmertech, Fortress Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, some pretty good like extra stuff. Prominence, Virgil, Big Eyes here as well, Daigusta Emerald. Just a bunch of like generically really good cards. Castell is even here as well. That's like Reasoning, Telly. Galaxy Cyclone, I want to say we've seen before. I think all of the other stuff we have seen before, and these are just reprints. And Beatrice, I'm not sure, but the stuff up until Beatrice is definitely new. But I don't want to make this too long because, bro, it's already 3 minutes. Jesus Christ. These set breakdowns, I feel like they just, the purpose they serve is very minuscule, and we'll see if we do something after the next anniversary. I have some plans for these, but we'll see if they come to fruition. Hopefully you enjoyed it regardless though, and I will see you all in the deck balance sections next.
Okay, so we're doing infinite. What is it called? Is it Infinite Gold, Premium Gold? Premium Gold, Infinite Gold. Yeah, that's the name of the set. It's fucking nonsense, is what it is. Okay, so starting off, Angmarl, the Fiendish Monarch. I don't know what this card does, and I don't really care. It's here, so I get Fiendish Chain. Bubble Man. We all know what Bubble Man does. Oh yeah, by the way, before we go further than this, let me just put this on here. Let me just oh boy, guys, it's only been 18 times that heroes have been played. Isn't that cool? So yeah, we are playing Kozmo Hero. Bobbleman is in here for rank 4 plays pretty much, and also maybe in the very rare instance that it might happen, maybe I get the draw off. Very unlikely. Shadow Mist is in here for searching mask change and also for searching other heroes when sent to the graveyard, and also just as a target for normal summoning into maybe doing some rank 4 plays with some of the cards. Stratos, obviously, I don't think I need to explain what Stratos is in here. I have heroes in here, and I have a hero lives in here, and I have Ecol here. Obviously, I will be playing a set of Stratos. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is in here because of obvious reasons. Once again, it's a really good hand trap at this era because getting your monster popped, even if you get the effect off, is very devastating here. Dark Destroyer is a Kozmo card that I don't think we saw yet. I think I didn't play it last time, even though it was out. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one monster on the field, destroy it. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, and then special summon one level 7 or lower Kozmo monster from your deck. Farm Girl, we talked about this last time. It can banish itself on the field, just like any other Psychic Kozmo, to summon a Kozmo that is of a higher level than it is. And then you can also, when it inflicts battle damage, pay life points to add a Kozmo to your hand from your deck. Forerunner cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. Standby phase, gain 1000 life points, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, then send it to the graveyard. You can banish this card and summon a level 6 or lower Kozmo monster from your graveyard, from your deck. So basically, Psychic summon higher level monsters from hand, Machine summon lower level monsters from deck. Slip Rider. When it's summoned or normal or special, you can target one trap card on the field and destroy it. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and spell summon one level 4 or lower Kozmo monster from your deck. Sword Troopers, during either player's turn, you can banish this card and spell summon one level 4 or higher Kozmo monster from your deck from your hand. You can only use this once per turn. Once per turn, you can pay 1000 life points, then target one Psychic type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Strawman. Summons a higher level monster from your Kozmo from your hand. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points and then target one of your banished Kozmo monsters. Special summon it, but its effects are negated and also destroyed during the end phase. So essentially, you summon Strawman, you pay 500 life points, you summon out fucking Dark Destroyer, you summon out Forerunner, you summon out Slip Rider, and now suddenly you have a Slip Rider, Forerunner, or Dark Destroyer that's going to pop itself at the end, and you get another Kozmo from your deck. It's basically going to filter out your deck even further than it already is. And now, everybody's favorite, the real star of the show, Kozmo Tin Can. Can summon a level 2 or higher Kozmo from your hand by banishing it, and once per turn during the end phase, not yours, you can pay 500 life points and reveal 3 Kozmo cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one to add to your hand, and you send the rest to the graveyard. So, this is the glue that holds Kozmos together. It is essential in making Kozmos function properly. It allows you to search for all your Kozmo cards. Your opponent has to pick one. As long as you're searching for 3 cards that you can summon this card into, it's just a immediate win for you pretty much. And obviously, as you might have read, it's during each end phase, and also it's not once per turn. So if you happen to somehow get 2 of these guys out, and you just go ham, buddy. Filter your whole deck. Dump everything to the graveyard. A hero lives. Don't talk about this. Summon a hero from your deck by paying half your life points. E-Call, add a hero to your hand. Emergency Teleport, special summon a level 3 or lower Psychic from your deck, hand or deck. So Tin Can, Strawman, Ghost Ogre, Farm Girl. Giant Grenade to reuse stuff like Fiendish Chain or Fogblade even. Kozmo Town, once per turn, you can target one of your banished Kozmos and return to your hand, and if you do, lose a level's life points equal to the original level times 100. Once per turn, you can reveal any number of Kozmo monsters from your hand and shuffle them into the deck, and then draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffled into the deck. And if this card is destroyed, you can search your deck for a Kozmo card and add it to your hand. Mask Change 2, discard 1 card, and then target one face-up hero monster you control, one face-up monster you control that has a level, and send it to the graveyard. And also, after that, if it left the field by this effect, special summon from your extra deck one masked hero monster with the same attribute, but higher level than the attribute / level the monster had when it was on the field. Its original attribute, attribute / level if face down. This is treated as a special summon with Mask Change. You can only act on Mask Change 2 per turn. So essentially, it allows me to Mask Change any of my Kozmos into corresponding masked heroes. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good card. This is used more commonly in stuff like Phantom Knights to turbo out Darkclaw, Phantom Knights specifically PK Fire, Burning Abyss for Phantom Knights, and yeah, we're probably not going to be seeing much of this card. And I'm also going to have to double check if it left. If it left the field by this effect, yeah. Terraforming for searching Kozmo Town, Finish Chain, Kozmo Joe. Target one Kozmo monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, banish one card your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. So basically, you target one Kozmo you control, and then you pop it and banish, non-targeting banish something from the field or grave. And then the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine, special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster. This card is not treated as a trap. If you have no traps in your graveyard, you can activate this card the turn it was set. You can only activate one Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine per turn. Then we have a Good Witch on the side. We have another Slip Rider. We have more Sword Troopers. We have a Wicked Witch. We have Maxi, Giant Grenade, Monarch Stormforth to sack my opponent's monsters for Slip Rider. Fogblade, which is a card that we discussed last week, I think, or last episode. We have Anki. He has the effect of this card can attack directly. When it does so, using this effect, the battle damage inflicted to your opponent is halved. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard, you can add one change quick play spell card from your deck to your hand. Which basically allows you to then cycle this card into different mask heroes for a very offensive play. Darkclaw, we all know what Darkclaw does. Divine Wind allows you to draw a card when you destroy a monster by battle. And your opponent cannot. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent can only attack with one monster per battle phase. Koga gains 500 attack for each of your opponent's monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can banish one hero monster from your graveyard, and target one face-up monster on the field, and that target loses attack equal to the attack of the monster banished to activate this effect. And then we have Black Rose. Pops the board. Abyss Dweller. Well, this card has material. Once per turn, you can quick effect. Sorry. Well, this card has material attached to it that was originally water. All water monsters you currently control gain 500 attack. Once per turn, quick effect. You can detach one material from this card. Your opponent cannot activate any card effects in their graveyard this turn. Castle the Sky Blaster. Detach one to change a monster to face down, and detach two to bounce spin it to the deck. Can only use one per turn, and only once that turn. And then Daigusto Emerald. Once per turn, you can attach one material from this card and do either of these. Target 3 monsters here in your graveyard and shuffle 3 of them into the deck. Then draw 1 card. Target 1 non-effect monster in your graveyard and spell summon that target. Shark. Detach 2 to attach a attack position special summon monster. You can detach a material to prevent this card from being destroyed. And when an opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, detach 2, target 1 effect monster your opponent controls while this monster is face up on the field. That monster's effects aren't negated, and it cannot change its battle position. That about does it. I think this set is it's infinite gold, right? It's a reprint set. It has really powerful cards reprinted in it, such as, well, obviously Ghost Ogre. It has almost all the Cosmos, with I think the exception of Dark Destroyer. And it has a bunch of hero cards. Well, not a bunch of it. It has Mask Change and Mask Change 2, which had just come out in the Hero Strike Structure deck. But because of that deck being bought out super hard, they had to reprint them again. And there's, of course, stuff like Kozmo Joe. And I think Fogblade was in this too. Yeah, I think Fogblade is in this too. I'm not 100% sure right now. But basically, the whole set was filled with a lot of really good pickups for people who were playing at the time. So I'm kind of excited to see what Weebfox has cooked up. So good luck with the games.
And welcome back, guys and gals, and here's what we are playing today. And I know it must come as a surprise, but we're actually playing a hopefully good deck. I feel pretty good about this deck, honestly. And yep, without further ado, let's go through it. And a bunch of stuff we've already seen here, because obviously we've seen all of these BAs before, so I'll go over them just briefly. Maxi also we've obviously seen before. You know what Maxi does, so hopefully this isn't too long. Just as a reminder, all of the Burning Abyss monsters have the same conditional effect, where if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, you destroy this card, and then you can only use one of their 2 effects per turn, and only once that turn. And all of them can be special summoned from your hand if you control no spell traps. And then they have their own effects. So Graph, the other effects are when they're sent to the grave by enemies. So Graph, the sent effect, you get to special summon out a Burning Abyss monster from your deck, except itself. Sir, you get to descent, you get to summon. I'll stop saying descent. I'll just cover descent effects. You get to special out a Burning Abyss monster except Seer from your grave. Scarm during the end phase. You get to add a level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand, except Scarm, but this also needs to be in the grave, and having been sent there that turn. Farfa, you get to banish a monster on the field until the end phase. A Rubik is a tuner, has the same stuff, but it can only be used to synchro summon out a Burning Abyss synchro monster, but doesn't have any other special effects. Then the one-offs, we have Alec, descent effect, negates a monster for the turn. Kalkab, targets a set spell trap on the field and bounces it back to the hand. Libic, spell summons out a level 3 fiend type monster from your hand but negates the effects. And finally Barbar, you can target up to 3 Burning Abyss cards in your grave to banish them and burn your opponent for 300 each. So these are like just our generic spam stuff, and then what makes the... Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about it, but yeah, it's PK Fire. If you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you probably know what that means. It's essentially Phantom Knights with Burning Abyss. One of probably the most long-lasting decks when it comes to like decks that have had rogue status. And when we get to Rhino Warrior, I'll cover why I wanted to play this here. But first, Silent Boots. We obviously saw the Phantom Knights already briefly, but I'll just, because it wasn't that extensive, I'll just cover them. So Phantom Knights of Silent Boots can be specials if you control a Phantom Knights monster, and then you can spell summon it only once per turn, and then you can banish it from your grave to add a Phantom Knights spell trap from your deck to your hand. Ancient Cloak doesn't have a spell summoning condition. Instead, if it's in attack position, you can target a dark monster on the field, boost it by 800 attack and defense until the end of your opponent's turn, and change Ancient Cloak to defense. And then this can be banished from your grave to add any the Phantom Knights card from your deck to your hand, except a Ancient Cloak. And then finally, Ragdoll Gloves, which we're only playing as a one-off. It targets this monster that was summoned using discarded field as a material against this effect. If it's exceeds summoned, it gains 1000 attack permanently. And then this can be banished from your grave to Foolish, a Phantom Knights card from your deck to the grave. So these are a small PK package here. And then Fiendish Rhino Warrior being the reason why I finally here decided to play this deck. Fiend monsters you control except Fiendish Rhino Warrior cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And all of the BA destroy this if you control a monster that's not a Burning Abyss monster are actually their effects. So Fiendish Rhino Warrior protects them from popping themselves. And then also, if it's sent to the graveyard by any means, you can Foolish a Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Fiendish Rhino Warrior. It's just made for Burning Abyss. I think, like, overall, like, there's so much for this deck in this set. Like, but I think this is definitely the best deck to be playing in this set. It'll be interesting to see what Jeexx comes up with, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a mirror, because this deck is just insane here because of stuff like Fiendish Rhino Warrior and having other stuff that works from the grave as well cover. The only thing that I could like make this better is having access to Tour Guide, essentially. But then for our small spell trap lineup, we have a single Terminus of the Burning Abyss, which lets us fusion summon a Burning Abyss fusion monster from our extract, use a monster from our hand or field as materials, and during our main phase, except the turn discard for center graveyard, we can banish this from our graveyard to target a Burning Abyss monster on the field and give it 800 attack and defense until the end of the opponent's next turn. It's a way to go into the fusion. More likely, we will summon fusion using Beatrice's a floating effect, which we'll cover, but I figured like it's cool enough, so I wanted to run it. Then we have a single Galaxy Cyclone to more in the side as well, which targets a set spell trap on the field and destroys it. And then during the main phase, except the turn this was end, you can banish this from your grave to target a face-up spell trap on the field and destroy it. And what's really neat about this is that while it's not a quick play, it doesn't really hinder us because it allows us to actually spell summon out our BAs, which is neat, and then it has a graveyard effect as well, and we have access to, obviously, I'm not playing it, but we have access to Fiendish Chain because of Fiendish Rhino Warrior, and obviously Fogblade is here because of the PK stuff, like J. Brigandine, so being able to pop Fiendish Chains and Fogblades with this is actually really good, and obviously we have a bunch of trap holes here, so the first part is also good. I was thinking of like even running more, but I wanted the two inside to be able to side into if need be. We also have two MST additionally here inside just in case we need even more back row removal if Jeexx is going really heavy on that. But I think we should be fine with 3 Galaxy Cyclone. Then 2 Mass Change to full transparency. I wasn't initially thinking of running this, but Jeexx proposed the idea of like, hey, like Dark Law in Burning Abyss with Mass Change 2 actually comes kind of hard, and I figured like since we have access to these both here now, like might as well give it a shot. Discard a card and target a face-up monster you control that has a level, send it to grave, and after that, if it led to field by this effect, you get to special summon out a mask hero monster with the same attribute but a higher level than the sent monster from your deck, and this is treated as a special summon with Mass Change. You can only activate one of these per turn. Obviously, discarding a card as the cost, we can trigger any of our Burning Abyss stuff. We can put our PKs in the grave, and then we get to summon out Dark Law. We'll cover Dark Law when we get to the extra deck, but all I'll say is if there is a mirror matchup, like that card single-handedly wins you the matchup. Then we have a single copy of the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine, a second copy in this side as well. It's simply a trap that spell summons this in defense position as a normal monster with measly 300 defense, and it's then not treated as a trap. And if you have no traps in your graveyard, you can activate this card the turn it was set. Not really great for us because we don't really care for level 4s. I'm most likely gonna side out of this for for game 2. I still wanted to have like, if I really need the extra bodies, then okay, it's neat, but since we don't really care about level 4s, like having the extra level 4, it's kind of whatever. So this is here just to give us access to the PK stuff. Fogblight, obviously we talked about extensively last time, essentially just Fiendish Chain with a graveyard effect to summon out a Phantom Knight as well as you can also use it to stall. If you target your own thing, it can be targeted for attacks, so your opponent cannot attack you. Bottom trap hole at 2 copies, third one in the side. We've seen this too many times at this point, I don't need to explain it. Then for the side deck, we have 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. When a monster in the field activates an effect, or when a spell trap that is already on the face up on the field, activates the effect, you can, as a quick effect, send this card to destroy it on the field. It doesn't negate it though. We covered all of this stuff already. Breakthrough skill we've seen before. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls and negates effects until the end of this turn. And during your turn, blah blah blah, when it was sent, except for the turn it was sent, you can banish this to target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and target once again has its effects negated until the end of the turn. Dante is going to be milling stuff, so having access to spell traps that work from the grave is neat. Then we just have a single summon Mirror Force to return all of Jeexx attack position monsters to hand if it's playing something that goes crazy wide and we need to protect ourselves. That's neat. And then just a Void Trap Hole and Deep Dark Trap Hole if we need more trap holes, or if we feel like we need them. Beatrice, I talked about this already in the set breakdown, so I'll be brief with it. You can either summon it generically using 2 level 6s. We will never do that. Instead, we will be summoning it by sending a Burning Abyss monster from our hand to the grave and using a Dante monster as material. So we can't activate the Foolish effect the turn we summoned this, but it has a quick effect, Foolish anything, like any card from your deck to the grave. And then if it's destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to a graveyard, you can spell summon a Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions, meaning either Dante or Virgil. And that's how we will more likely be going into Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, the fusion. And then the 3 Dante, we've seen this before, I don't need to explain it. It mills, it swings, then it's a big booty one. A big booty monster on the field. If it gets popped, or if it gets dealt with, you get a BA back from your grave to your hand. 2 Break Sword, takes 2 level 3s. You can detach one to pop a card you control, a card your opponent controls. It can also pop itself, and if it's destroyed on the field, you can target 2 Phantom Knights monsters with the same level in your graveyard, spell summon them out, lock yourself into summoning darks for the rest of the turn, and increase their levels by 1. Essentially, pop something with Break Sword, summon back to PKs, and make Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, which takes 2 level 4s, detach 2, and permanently gains the attack and halves the attack of an opponent's monster and gains that same attack permanently. It just swings big. Then Utopic Future, if we end up going for 2 Dantes and we want to make them into something slightly more threatening, we can make Utopic Future. We obviously saw this very recently. You can just nab your opponent's stuff and use them against the opponent. Start a Charge Warrior, it's cool. We can't summon it because Rubik only summons BS, but I don't really need the 15 slots, so it's just here because it's neat. Virgil we've seen before, level 6. You can only control one of them, and you can discard one once per turn. Sorry, one Burning Abyss card once per turn, and spin one of your opponent's cards into the deck. And if this card is destroyed on the field, you get to draw one. Dante, 3 Burning Abyss monster with different names. Probably never going to summon it this way. Instead will be summoned by Beatrice, because Beatrice ignores the summoning conditions. And then it can be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can send a Burning Abyss card from a hand to graveyard to draw one. And if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard, or if it's sent to your graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you get to send a card from your opponent's hand to the grave. And finally, Dark Law, which is what we'll summon with Mass Change 2. Any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. And once per turn, if your opponent adds any cards to the hand, except during the draw phase or the damage step, you can banish a card from your opponent's hand, a random card. Essentially, in the mirror, this just wins it, because PK Fire is all about, like, you're cycling through, you're using the PK's grave effects to get stuff from your deck to your hand. You're using the BAs to pitch them into the grave and get their effects. Dark Law stops anything there. So essentially, if we're playing a mirror and I get a Dark Law on the field, like, Jeexx literally cannot play until he deals with Dark Law. And dealing with Dark Law is going to be very painful, because he's probably going to have to banish some stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. It's neat that Heroes got a, you know, good boss monster, but at the same time, like, the hero identity that was earlier just like superhero is about beatdown. I was like, oh, I'm one of the most oppressive floodgates in the game. So have fun. Yeah, it's crazy good, and it functions in the deck, so we're gonna be playing it. But like I said, I honestly feel really good about this deck. I think this deck is really, really powerful. I haven't played PK Fire at all. Like, before, I have a little bit of experience playing Phantom Knights, but that was when I just started Yu-Gi-Oh! So we'll see how it goes, but still, regardless, excited to be playing this episode. Thank you for watching the deck breakdowns. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the deck building. No, we just came from there. Dueling zone next. Also, sorry, my deck breakdowns have been really long lately. I apologize, but you know me, I love yapping. But yeah, see you in the dueling zone. What is up, ladies and lads? Welcome back to History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, this time with Premium Gold, Infinite Gold. I still can't believe they just put gold in their name twice. It sounds foolish. I don't like it. But Jeexx, how you feeling about, I think this is our second gold episode?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think we skipped a bunch of them, and then we saw one that was good to start with from the one stand we hadn't skipped yet, so we picked one, and now we're doing the second one. And after this, there won't be any until for, like, I think a year, because the next one is in 2020.
Yeah, the early ones were, like, bad.
Yeah, they were not fun.
But best of luck to you, gamer. And I think I will start with a special summon of a Barbar.
Yes, a Barbar, my favorite.
Is that okay?
That is okay.
And then
I will not be ghost ogreing you or effect veiling.
I was looking for a specific insect that might draw you 17,000 cards when I'm playing this.
No. See, I'm a magnanimous individual.
You need to stop using that word.
Well, quite a magnanimous. Truly magnanimous.
Sure. We will also special out a Libic.
Yep.
And I would like to overlay these two for everybody's favorite Dante.
I have to love Dante.
And I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll mill for 3.
Yeah.
Detaching Barber, but I already spell summoned, so descent doesn't happen. We get Fireblade, a Rubik, and a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Well, not what I necessarily want to see, but that is still fine.
I mean, You can send Scarm using Phoenix Shrine of Warrior to trigger Scarm's effect. So that's not bad.
Yeah, I get to at least get some more stuff in my hand, but nothing else than the Scent of Warrior. So let me go pitch. It's just a fiend, yeah. This doesn't have limitations, and I don't think there's a better target to send. So we will pitch a Scarm.
Yep.
And now during the end phase, Diba Daba Dooba Daba. And
Blah, blah.
I can just do it here to make things easier if that is fine by you.
Yep,
And
that is okay.
I think I will grab a... I want something for next turn. We'll get a Sir or Seer in hand. And this was in the end phase, so back to you, Buster.
Alrighty then. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to activate from my hand by paying half my life points as I control no face-up monsters. A hero lives.
Yep. I'm gonna maxi. So.
Oh, you're fucking cringe. How about you? You just like, don't, okay?
Why did they print this card?
What do you mean, Maxi?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
They were like, I mean, special summons don't happen that frequently.
Yeah, I mean, back then they didn't, so they're not wrong in that.
And
now the question is,
correct me if I'm wrong, but since activated on this spell activation, I get the summon already on your hero lives summon. Yeah.
Yes,
It's always weird because, like, obviously you can't do it just for nothing. So if your opponent special summons something, then and you chain maxi there, then it's only after or from the next special.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this for a second because I have a plan.
Also, up the counter, how many times heroes have been
plus
played?
Plus one. 18 times, ladies and gentlemen. 18 fucking times. So.
If you want it to
I'm
be the
just gonna...
fifth of all your episodes before we reach 100, then you're gonna have to speed up.
Yeah,
Shadow Mist is a-okay.
Shadow Mist is good. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that Shadow Mist is perfectly fine. Then I would like to add using the effect of Shadow Mist. Do I even have it in here still? Did I remove it from my deck? I think I might have removed it from my deck because I was like, I don't think I need this card. I would add a Mask Change to my hand using the effect of Shadow Mist. And then I would like to activate Mask Change to summon out a Anki. And you get to draw one.
I will take my card. Thank you.
And I would like to swing over Dante.
Yep. Dante goes to grave, so... Who is chain 1? Who is chain 2?
I activate Anki, and then you get to activate Dante.
Yeah.
My Anki is a conditional effect that I can do, while yours is also a conditional effect. Now you can decide if you want to do Libic first or Dante first in the chain. That is important.
I'll obviously chain it so I get and add to my hand first. Now the question is, you haven't normaled, but the battle phase is done, which is what I'm thinking here.
Well, is the battle phase done? My good.
Well, yeah, depends on if you have ways to summon here. We are currently in the battle phase, but
just to be sure, Anki allows me to add a quick play spell card with the change in its name to my hand after it destroys a monster.
Yep.
So
at
the end of this chain, I will get to add one.
I guess we'll go for do I want this for later? The issue here is that Dark Claw is a card. I'll go Rubik to hand, and then Libic. I think I'll go for Seer.
Wait.
I'll actually get it in defense.
Yeah, that is fair. That is very, very fair. Then...
You get that your change.
Yes, I get that my change. And
Which
I'm
I think
realizing...
there are 2 off only. Right? Max change 2?
There is a third one.
Oh, okay.
It's called Form Change, which I seem to have removed by 1 copy from the deck, even though I was not intending to do that. That's unfortunate.
Cards just disappear from your deck and actually disappear from my deck as well. The Xyz Reborn.
Wait. I want this. No, right? No. It's 2.4 wasted. Guy gets vanished. No, it's 5.2k. 5.2k is not enough. If I had a form change, this would have been enough. I think he's curious. It's very interesting. Well, I'll just go main phase 2. I'll set. Normal. Pass.
Got a mass change, right? The regular one? Or did I see that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
I added a regular mask change.
Yep. No stand by main.
Yep.
Well, we know one of those 4 is the mass change, but I don't
Giant grenade.
Yep.
Heavy storm.
I think that doesn't really matter. I mean, I still get to pitch something, but you can just spin either of these. We'll start with a special of another Sir. I was very much expecting the last card in your hand to be Maxi, but
that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Set 4 and just keep 1 Maxi in your hand, and that's it. I don't think that does anything is the issue here. Darkla is 24.
Yes.
But it'll still suck. I mean, I'm always going into 1 Dante at least, so let's go for that.
Yep. That's good.
Then... I think it's better to do this now, so we'll detach the... It doesn't matter, because Actually, when did I summon Sir?
That's a very good question.
I, for whatever reason, thought that it was the side card, but it is a hard once per turn, but we'll go and pitch those. Anyway.
I will now respond after the class has been resolved by activating Fiendish Chain on the Dante.
Alright.
Dante will not gain the attack.
Yep,
and
he
also
is
cannot
20.
attack.
That is fine. I guess we'll use the Alec effect, which is the only one that penetrates. Yeah, there's just, yeah. We'll use the Alec effect, and I guess we'll negate. Disintegrate, it doesn't matter. There's only 4 monsters, so we'll just throw it on Anki, I guess.
Okay.
Then I can... I don't think it's worth it, though. It doesn't matter. let us go into...
Beatrice.
Yes, I will send from my hand Scarm to summon out a Beatrice using a Dante monster I control as material.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, I can't foolish this turn because I used the fast condition. And this gives me the end phase thing. Nothing else here really matters. I think we will just set a card and pass, or go to the end phase and resolve. Scar, is that okay?
I would like to activate Mask Change, targeting my Shadow Mist. Send Shadow Mist to grave, and unfortunately, this is gonna happen here.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the card just counters the entire deck, so there is no reason for you to not do that.
The main reason why I'm doing this is to get my own Surge off as well. So
yeah, I'm sure. But yeah,
no, like legitimately. Yeah.
Regardless, this will happen, and then I will banish a random card, but we will grab a. I guess we'll go for a Farfa hand, and then I will shuffle my hand.
And then this one.
Sure. Well, unfortunately, there goes the Farfa.
Yeah. Then I also get to resolve my Shadow Mist to add a hero card to my hand. I would like to add a Stratos.
Yeah. And then it is back to you.
Okay. Stand by, mate. I would like to activate Giant Grenade.
That is fine. Yeah. Nothing on that. So this goes back to hand.
There we go. And then I would like to normal summon. It's too small. This is equal right now. It doesn't matter, does it? I'll normal summon Stratos. Stratos effect. Search my deck for a Stratos.
I mean, at least we're in a standstill unless something happens. Honestly, no, you'll have to do that. I mean, yeah, this is fine.
Okay, and then I would like to go to battle and attack directly using Unki for 1,400.
Yep, I will take the 14.
Yep, and then I go to main phase 2. I set 2, and then I pass.
Sure, finish chain and something. I will simply set to end. That'll be all.
Okay.
I will stop telling you what I'm playing next time. I swear to God, I've eaten, even though they are probably coincidence, I swear I've eaten so many silver bullets in the
It'll activate Stratos
like 20.
Pop your back rows.
Yep.
And then in response to the bottomless, I activate Mask Change.
Yep.
And then send it to grave to summon out a Divine Wind. That's not what I wanted to do.
And extra cast.
I wanted to close it. Yeah, that would have been nice. But yeah.
Extra castle to go alongside that.
Are you gonna activate the second bottomless on Stratos as well?
Yes.
Okay. So Stratos gets vanished.
Yeah.
Stratos gets vanished. Okay. Wait, that's actually. Wait, does that work? Then I think. 'Cause when you summoned window is weird here. I think that should work,
after
so I
the-
don't even get this guy out. That's fine. That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, because if it left by this effect. Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So banish. Just to make sure.
Oh yeah, sure. I can tell you that I unfortunately don't have a way to get traps back to my grave, but yeah.
I see. Then I would like to activate Mask Change 2,
Mm-hmm.
sending Darklaw to summon out a Anki.
Sure.
Discard. I forgot to discard my Ghost Ogre. I would like to activate E-Call to add to my hand a Bubble Man.
Sure.
And then I would like to special summon the Bubble Man.
Yep.
And then I would like to go into overlaying this fucking thing and then summoning out Castell.
Sure.
And then
Castle Summon, I will use the effect of Beatrice, so I'll at least get to something.
that doesn't even you detach one? Yeah. And
Yep.
then I respond after the detachment by using the Fiendish Chain that I currently have face down.
Sure. I still get this here, so we get something here to protect our life total, because the change ad sucks, but I think I'm just straight up dead without it, so we still need it, and I guess might as well grab the biggest thing, but it doesn't matter, because, I mean, I guess Castle can't beat over it, so we'll go for Scarm here.
Yeah, then I detach
then
the two.
This goes back to the
bounce.
extract,
Yeah.
and Dante goes to the grave.
So you get to
And
add something.
I will add with that a C. Actually, will I?
So I'm gonna swing for 2,800 over this thing, and I'm gonna add a mask change. Then I'll swing for 2,800, another 2,000, and then 2,400. So there,
Yep.
this dice. And then Anki effect, I add a mask change. Oh, I do not have any mask changes left in my deck.
Yeah, it would have been.
I have this thing. Again, form change would have done this so much better.
Yeah,
And then attack this.
Let's change to something. I know I take 48 here, but I'm not dead to Divine Wind. Thank you, mass changes being in the grave.
Yeah.
Draw a standby main. And let's see what we can do here. So,
Did you remember to add using Scarm?
oh yeah, true. I will grab with it a. We'll go for a graph, I think.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll go for graph. And let's see what we can do here. What do we have here? Too sure. We'll start by banishing a. Not banishing. I will first add. No. What do I want here? I could get this, I guess. I mean, we need to do this anyways, so I think. Yeah, this needs to happen first. I will start by. I don't think there's a way around this now. I will start with a special of a Rubik. Is that okay?
Yeah. I have nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Oh yeah, I know.
So
I know. I was gonna
performant.
say, but yeah, I know the card in your hand. That's right.
But
It's literally dead. I think I just need to. Yeah, I need to add all of these, because if I do this, I get this, and then I go. Yeah, okay. Special out Rubik and special out. Doesn't matter. We'll go for Sarah, I guess.
Yep.
We'll use these to go into.
Virgil.
This would be so funny. Yeah, we'll go for Virgil here.
Yippee.
Then I will go into a... The order here doesn't matter. No. So let me normal out. I'm not missing anything, right? Yeah, no, this is correct. We will normal out Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. Then we will banish from our grave the Fog Blade to summon out this Ragged Gloves. Then we will overlay these two and go into Breaksword.
Yep. And then pop Breaksword, pop Anki.
Yep, exactly. I will pop Breaksword to pop. You can pick either Anki, Breaksword effect. Get out these two, and now they're level. Force, I'm locked into Darks for the rest of the turn. Doesn't matter. We will overlay these two and make Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. And Dark Rebellion gets 1,000 from Ragged Gloves. Then I will detach Ancient. No, it doesn't matter because it's both anyways. We'll go detach these two to have Anki and grab another 1,400. So this becomes 49.
And then discard one to shuffle shuffle Castle.
I will do that. I will discard a 4/4 from my hand to then shuffle one, bounce this back to your hand, and then just go to swing for game.
Hell yeah!
Yippee!
Yeah, I took out both the form changes I had. That's annoying.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
Because I have a second, like there's a 60 card deck. There's a second half to this deck that we saw nothing of.
Yeah, that was just a hero pile for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you had that, or I mean, honestly, if you had one Maxi, like that would also probably just cook me, because Maxi against this deck draws a good amount of cards.
I also have to point out to everybody, all the dear listeners right now, that none of that would have been possible had I not been magnanimous. As we all know how magnanimous I was for mask changing my Dark Claw away rather than simply holding the Dark Claw on board, preventing my opponent from playing the game.
Yeah, and we will now magnanimously pause the recording so we can do some siding. So we'll be back after these messages, credits, the sponsor of the video. We'll see you soon. And we are back.
Once again, to the people on the back, I must stress how magnanimous and kind and good I am for not holding on to my Dark Claw to allow Weebfox to play the game.
You know, when you have to call yourself humble or magnanimous or whatever, yeah, that's fine. At that point, it becomes... It feels like you're a lot less humble. It's like if you keep telling people that you're goated, then...
Yeah. You're just jealous, you know?
Yeah,
just
that's
don't...
definitely that. That's right.
Yeah, you just don't get it, bro.
That is very much correct.
I'm kind of impressed that I managed to draw a hand like this, considering my deck. Because, like, I just drew... 5 cards out of the 60 cards that make me go like, bro, I have like 2 of each.
You and your fiendish chains, eh, you rascal?
I would never run any card called Fiendish Chain. What do you mean? Fiendish Chain is for losers. Unless I'm not playing Polymerization, which kind of explains.
You damn rascal you are. Sure. I mean, this is PK Fire. Let's special out Graph. Let's special out Seer. Let's overlay for Dante. Oh, faithful. Let's normal. Ancient cloak. Let's special out. Boots. Let's overlay for.
Can't believe Boots is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Holy shit.
Shout out Boots from the Sage
I love Boots.
stream. Shout out Boots. Shout
Good
out
old
Boots. And I don't think there's a reason for me to do that. But honestly, I might as well make a second Dante.
I mean, you can do Break Sword here.
I can, but do I carry
Make Break
enough?
Sword, make Master Key Beetle. Target Dante. Dante can die from card effects. Can die from battle. Oh, actually, he can die from battle.
Yeah, he can. I'll just make a second Dante.
Yeah. And you get 2 times the Dante?
Yeah, it's absolutely massive, man.
Wow, man.
We will detach Seer from Dante numero uno and get Libic Seer, who's already used, so it doesn't matter, and Graph, who also has to be used, so it doesn't matter. And Dante gets 15 hundo until the end of the turn. Then we'll go for. I might as well go for Boots. And we will get Maxi, Bottomless, and a
Those
Rubik.
are some good mills.
Yeah, I don't think I could have hit worse. So I think
It's okay, you can get Fog Blade now. So
you're chilling. Yeah, I mean, at least I can get Fog Blade. So, it doesn't matter. So honestly, I think I might as well just do this first. So I would like to banish Silent Boots. To grab from my deck a Phantom Knight's Fog Blade to hand. Then we will proceed to the battle phase and walk over this for 700 and then 25 here. And then end of the battle phase, both of my dudes go to defense. And main 2, we will set a card that could be absolutely anything.
Anything.
Alrighty
then, chat room. I activate Terraforming. I search my deck for
Skyscraper.
For Kozmo Town. I activate the card Kozmo Town from my hand. And then I will set a card and pass.
Exciting! Sure. Draw standby main. That's funny. Let me put both of my Dantes to attack. Let's go for this Dante.
Surely there's no Farfus, right? Surely no Farfus.
I mean, what are the odds of me drawing Farfa in that draw phase right there?
You don't even need to draw Farfa. You just use Graph.
Yeah, I mean, I can get it here anyway.
You summon whatever you have in hand. It's like it doesn't matter what you have in hand.
Yeah, but it would have been.
I mean,
really
it does.
Funny
it does matter.
It would have been really
you still
funny
need,
if I got Farfa into my hand.
Yeah. But like, you still need what the fuck is it called? You still need a monster to actually summon from your hand, and that does matter.
Yep.
That is a relevant factor because right now you have a spell trap set, for example, so you wouldn't be able to go into a third Dante.
Yeah, I unfortunately can't. I mean, if I have a Monster Striker normal in my hand, then I could, but that's different. We'll go for. Honestly, I think we'll special out.
Before you special anything out, you have to mill.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let me do that first. That's my bad. Good call. we'll get a Sir, so we get a summon there anyway, so it doesn't matter. We get a Firefly. Well, uh, yeah, I was gonna say like I guess we banish this thing, and then what would even be the last one? A Fog Blade. Oh yeah, that would have just been
Yeah.
curtains because I just then
I
get
mean, it's already
yeah.
done at this point because I
Yeah,
banished
I
this.
mean, none of this matter, and I even have a Firefly, and I have a way to go into the fusion in my hand. Bro, my draws this second game were fucking insane.
I drew every single hero in
Oh,
my deck.
Jesus. That is dog ass. And that was
Yeah,
with
like
that was with Ecall and terraforming.
yeah, like
Jesus Christ.
this is.
I mean, this deck is so
quite
fucking
unfortunate.
consistent, but still, like the
See,
juxtaposition.
this deck is also consistent, but the problem is I'm playing a gazillion card engine
60
as a
card.
joke.
60 cards with, well, I mean, 60 cards with 2 different archetypes. Like, you know me, I can respect that hell out of that. That's fucking sick.
I just happened to not hit any of the Kozmo cards when they were actually usable.
Yeah. So, what was there like a bigger idea on like running both of them, or was it just like, I'll just do it for the hell of it?
I can go into Koga from any
Oh yeah,
any
that's
card
true.
other than Forerunner or Dark Destroyer, and I can use heroes to kind of just meme around. It was a +1. Originally, I was just gonna play Cosmo straight, and then I went like, no, I don't think I want to play Cosmo straight. I'm gonna play Cosmo straight during anniversary anyway, so I'm just gonna do something funny.
Yeah.
So I made heroes into what is essentially supposed to be a rank 4 engine, while having Cosmos in there to basically supplement everything else. And I also have Ghost Ogres as a viable way of summoning out Black Rose using any heroes. I have Abyss Driller in here. I have fucking Castel, obviously. I have Emeralds. I have Shark. I have Giant Hand, and then I have the heroes. The main reason was just because originally I was thinking of playing more Sword Troopers, but then I decided against it because I was like, no, Sword Trooper isn't like, it shouldn't be activating, it shouldn't be happening. So I just ditched it. I just said like, fucking, no, I'm good.
That's fair. It's a neat idea. I like it.
Because there's also a fact that both of these decks, when you do hit the cards that allow them to play, they play regardless of essential what is being done. Fucking Tin Can. Like if I draw Tin
This
Can,
card is so insane.
Tin Can guarantees that I play Cosmos. Regardless of anything that happens, I play Cosmos. I just need to draw E-Telly and I play Cosmos.
Yeah.
I'm playing 6 copies of this guy. I'm playing 6 copies of Stratos. Actually, I'm playing 9 copies of Stratos. I'm playing 6 copies of Shadow and 6 copies of Bubble Man. Actually, 9 copies of Bubble Man. And no, fuck, I'm playing 9 copies of each hero because I have a hero lives and e-call for all of them. Yeah, Bubble Man being like the one that I added at the very last minute, mostly because I was like, I need something that I can just spam out towards the end of the game that I can top deck and I can just summon it and make a rank 4 using another card.
Yeah, really good.
Bubble Man was the addition. But this unfortunately didn't end up going that way because I just happened to break the hardest I could have possibly break with this deck.
Yeah, and if you break against PK Fire, it's like this deck has just infinite plays.
Like there's also this card, for example, that I put in here because I was like, well, I'm gonna use this for having access to rank 4 plays on turn 1 when I normal summon something. And that would be fine. Like, let's say I normal summon something, you have just Dante in play, I normal summon fucking Gestel, I normal summon even Giant Hand. The biggest problem is that I can't yoink the card with Shark. Shark is an option for, like, Dark Rebellion Dragon, for example, if it's still on board when I happen to get to my turn. And another thing, Stratos pops Kozmo Town.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really cool thing that I didn't even think about.
It's something that like, also Ghost Ogre can do that. I can like use Kozmo Town's effect and pop Kozmo Town using Ghost Ogre to search deeper into my deck with Kozmo Town.
Oh yeah, because Ghost Ogre doesn't even negate, so you get both. That's neat.
Yeah, like legitimately speaking, there is refinement to be done with this deck, mostly because there's no good way of bridging the gap between these two right now.
Yeah.
But if I happen to have a few extra cards, such as Foolish Burial, for example, that can easily guarantee that I can get stuff out into the graveyard that I need, or other means of just thinning out the deck. Like honestly, Grass looks greener would have been great. Reasoning is also something that I was
Bro,
considering, but I
Crash
didn't
would have
play
been
Reasoning.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like
you mill
immediate
half of your
shuffle.
deck, and
Yeah.
then you're like, well, fuck me, I guess I suck. And then you add using Shadow Mist, you summon like Tin Can, hopefully maybe Straw Man. Yeah, and obviously Giant Grenade came from Giant Hand,
Yeah.
and Giant Grenade was kind of a big call out for Fog Blades and Fiendish Chains. I'm not playing multiple of them because I was like, I don't really want to have this like devolve into me actually praying that I get fucking Heavy Storm or Giant Grenade in my hand.
Yeah. That's fair. Did you have any other reason other than like you just didn't want to play it for like not running Maxi? Or
Oh, I have Maxi in the side, but I just went like, no. I think I'm already playing Shadow. I'm already playing like Dark Claw, and I'm not gonna keep
yeah,
Dark
that's
Claw on board
fair.
anyway. It's like, yes, I will now play Dark Claw, and every time you summon from here on out, I draw a card.
Yeah,
Have
because
fun.
literally, like I think for this matchup, the optimal play pattern is sit on Dark Claw and
Yeah.
just throw out Maxis, and that would
Like
match up good.
the way that you win PK Fire Mirrors is you get this fucking thing out.
Essentially, yeah, because it's
I
just it prevents the deck from functioning. Essentially,
yeah.
so
I mean, yeah, you can't really play your shit when it's on board either. You can still play PK. But like, let's say you're playing PK Fire, you go first. You have a mask change in hand, and now you get to a position where you have a card you can mask change into Dark Claw, and you have a Fog Blade set, and you can maybe make a Dante or something. Now,
yeah,
boom! Suddenly, your opponent is incapable of playing the game.
yeah. Good luck getting
It's
through that board.
yeah, if it's a PK mirror, that is.
Yeah,
Like with this deck, this would have actually been like if I played pure Cosmos, this would have been a really solid fight. But
I
I
don't
think
think.
this would have been a solid fight regardless of if I was playing this. If I hadn't happened to draw this fucking hand.
Yeah, I think like
Even the
Cosmos
economy.
overalls are just pretty good because like basically all of them like play around Fog Blaze so well because you can just
Yep.
scoot them out of the way.
Yeah, and like even when you fog blade them, I still have Cosmojo.
Yeah.
I'm getting a call. I need to respond to this real quick.
Yep. All G. I'll do some outro stuff here in the meanwhile. So, I mean, I've never been like I liked the idea of Phantom Dice initially, and this was always because BA was also a deck that I wanted to play at some point. So I'm glad that this ended up happening, and especially like the sets, the like premium gold having access to Fiendish Rhino Warrior didn't come up here, obviously, but Fiendish Rhino Warrior being able to now keep your Burning Abyss monsters on board even when you have other stuff as well is really neat, and especially when you also happen to have another good effect there where you just get to essentially bullish any of your BA monsters if Fiendish Rhino Warrior ends up in the grave, which it often does, as happened with Dante here. Like Fiendish Rhino Warrior is just so insanely good for the deck. Like,
Yeah.
I think like apart from a lot of like obviously just tiny upgrades to some stuff that we have here, like having access to something like Tour Guide would have obviously like made the deck better because it just Tour Guide is just so good in BA already because it negates the BS so they don't even destroy themselves, and it just lets you immediately get a Dante on board with a single normal summon. It lets you go get Beatrice on board easier. Like Tour Guide would have obviously been like the big thing here, but apart from that, like having access to Maxi to just constantly generate more cards in your hand, and obviously just the nature of BA and PK. Essentially, I just have infinite resources at all times, which is pretty damn powerful. But I don't know. I doubt like we'll see when like stuff like Varsity Bardash comes out, like Cherubini, like both of these archetypes get support in the future, but I don't know if it's interesting enough that at least I'll end up playing it, but there's definitely a possibility for it. Like Varsity Bardash is a very iconic card, obviously. So we might see it still in the future, or if Jeexx wants to play in the Annie episode, like if he wants to play PK Fire with Dark Law, because obviously like That's something that didn't come up here, but like Mass Change doing into Dark Law, also getting the pitch effects for your BAs is pretty damn powerful.
Yeah. There's a reason why Mask Change 2 at one point went to, I think it's 1 or 2. It's a fairly splashable card in conjunction with the fact never mind. It's never hit the list in the TCG, but in the OCG it's still at 1.
That's funny.
It's been at 1 for 10 years almost. 9 years at this point.
That's really funny.
It's kind
Maxi is at
of
3 and Mass Change 2 has been on the limited list for 10 years. Let that sink in.
Yep. It's because
let that sink in.
People love heroes, man. I don't know actually if people love heroes in Japan, because from my understanding, most of the popular archetypes in the West aren't that popular in the East. Like, obviously, people will play Blue Eyes.
I was just gonna say, like, I think Blue Eyes is one that everybody just universally loves.
But at the same time, I don't think Blue Eyes is anywhere near as like loved as it is here. Like, I would need to verify this from somewhere, but the understanding that I've got has been that like the Japanese metagame is drastically driven by just the fact that these decks are the best, we're gonna play these, and people have their pet decks obviously, but those pet decks are like the waifu archetypes.
Bro, yeah. I'm waiting for Dragon Maid.
Fucking kill me now.
At least you said that. I was just fully expecting you to just go like kill yourself and like, all right, well, thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially because probably at that point we'll have type speed decks, and I can play Dragon Rulers in my Dragon Maid deck. It's gonna be glorious.
Let me tell you how much I've come to hate Super Quantum since I began to play this game.
I would have made for a good pasta. But that's a good pasta,
I mean, it's based on AM speech or AM speech from I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream from the game.
Shout out that video game.
It's a video game.
On Jeexx's favorite stuff of 2024, go watch the video. It's only.
It wasn't on there, but you know.
Well,
it's
go.
Go watch that anyway.
I need my plugs. It might be in there. Yeah, you can't actually tell. Maybe Jeexx lied. You can't. You can't tell if you don't watch the video.
Yeah. But to bounce back to actual Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Tin Can, we didn't really explain what Tin Can does because we haven't really seen Tin Can yet. Tin Can has the same Kozmo effect. It can summon any Kozmo that is higher level than it from your hand by banishing itself from the field. Banishing it is a cost. Therefore, you can activate it, you can banish it, so you can leave from under stuff like Fogblade, Fiendish Chain, and stuff. Yeah, it's really good. And then it has the effect of, during the end phase, once per turn, not hard once per turn, important distinction, you can pay 500 life points and reveal 3 Kozmo cards with different names from your deck, and your opponent randomly picks one, and you add it to your hand and send the rest to the grave. So essentially what you do with this card... but you don't really want to do that.
But you can. Honesty.
So what you would most likely be doing is you add, let's say, Slip Rider, Dark Destroyer, and I'm just going to say Forerunner for the sake of it. And then your opponent picks one at random. You happen to hit... You always will hit one card that you can just like shift into. So then let's say you summon this card with E-Tele. You immediately go into the card that you want to shift into. Let's say you have Kozmo Town on board. You pop Kozmo Town using Slip Rider that you happen to get into your hand. And then you summon out another Tin Can, and now you do Tin Can again.
You can banish the other stuff to also swarm harder.
Yes.
It's pretty damn good.
And there's also like another alternate play where you can argue, like you can use Dark Destroyer. You can if you get Dark Destroyer from Tin Can when you have nothing else in hand, you summon Dark Destroyer, and if your opponent doesn't have anything to pop, you can just pop Dark Destroyer itself, banish it, summon another Kozmo that is more valuable in this situation from the deck again. Like let's say you have Kozmo Town on board, you want to pop Kozmo Town again, and now you're gonna summon out another Tin Can, and you do the thing. You can effectively get into your desired board state from anything. Like, as long as you have Tin Can, you can most likely get your desired board state. And that is why this card is what, like, definitively put this deck on the map.
Yeah, Dark Destroyer is absolutely fucking massive. And for example, in this deck, like, literally the only way to deal with for me would be Utopic Future.
Yeah, because you cannot target with card effects.
Yeah, so even stuff like, I mean, technically, I guess you could deal with it with Dark Rebellion if you have something that lets me boost over it, but...
Yeah, like if you can yoink...
convoluted.
junk materials from somewhere else. And then after you kill it, it goes to the grave, it gets banished. I summon out Forerunner, I summon out Slip Rider, I summon out something else, and I can just start making plays from there.
Yeah, Kozmo
I
just
think
cycles itself.
yeah.
In which case, like it's very similar to BA, but BA just has a much easier time starting out stuff and like right from the get go. Like if I just if my opening hand is just 5 BA, I can just let me just drop all of this shit and just make whatever my heart desires.
I think a big problem, like, well, not problem. I think a big advantage that Cosmos have over BA is the fact that you only need this one guy.
Yeah.
You have this one guy, you're playing the game.
But if you don't have the one guy, then it's like, oh,
Well, fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also, they have a really, really, really powerful trap. Cosmojo is another one of these cards that makes me go like, what the fuck were you thinking printing this card for this archetype?
It has a hard one per turn, so it's fair.
It destroys one of your Cosmo cards. You target a Cosmo card, and you can destroy it.
Yep.
Okay? And then you banish a card from the field or graveyard. Non-targeting, important.
Yep.
And you can do that to anything. So if your opponent's like, well, fuck, I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm just gonna have to let you do this. Not only do you get to pop your Cosmo, that's gonna then turn into like another Cosmo. You also get to banish a threat from the board. So, for example, if you happen to pop Dark Destroyer, you obviously go into Forerunner, Tin Can, Strawman, into Slip Rider, and so on and so forth. Maybe Farm Girl, maybe Wicked Witch, maybe who knows what. Maybe Dark Lady. And suddenly you now have a monster negate on board, and on top of that, you just banish a card from your opponent's board, and you're living the big life.
You know what would have been really funny in Cosmojo if they didn't have the and if you do, it would just destroy it and then banish. It's like, actually, I'm also gonna scoot this out of the way by banishing it to spell something out.
So if you could do that, you could activate Cosmojo, say Tin Can, banish Tin Can, summon Dark Destroyer, and then, oh, great.
Banish not targeting one of your opponent's things, and now there's a fucking Dark Destroyer on the board. Have fun with that shit.
It's like this archetype is legitimately one of the best.
It's very neat, and it's like it's one of those that I wasn't aware of like at all before. Like you talked about it, and I mean we had that where I literally for the longest time, like I was like when you were talking about this, I was thinking of B3S, where one of those is one of the worst archetypes of all time, and one of those is an actually good archetype that I think also like later when I looked into it actually saw quite a decent amount of play.
Cosmos? Yes. Cosmos have seen quite a bit of play around this time of the era, because a lot of the other decks that were really good were getting hit. Burning Abyss was still like trucking along with the same stuff that they had.
It's always been, that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
There should be a road for as long as I've been alive. Okay, not quite, but you know.
The biggest problem with like BA being like trucking along was the fact that, well, they got cards that are fairly easy to deal with, right? And if BA is a big part of the representation, deck like Cosmos can kind of easily like scoot in and be like, I'm gonna take games from you, buddy.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
Shout out healthy meta decks that are actually need to play against. Tier elements didn't deserve all the hate. I'll say it. It's been long enough. I'll say it.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, okay. Sure, buddy. Wow, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you want to die on that hill?
Yes, absolutely. I think tier elements is probably I want to say like the healthiest tier 0 deck, or
the healthiest tier 0 deck. Guys, that's a sentence that should not exist.
The most fun tier 0 format that Yu-Gi-Oh has had.
This is like saying, yes, Urshifu. Urshifu is a really fair and balanced Pokemon because it's fun to use.
Is it?
Bro.
You just put a choice item on that shit and it just clicks the one single move. So,
but that's what I'm saying. What you're saying essentially sounds like this to me.
But what if tier elements is fun to play though?
Bro is coping.
Well, we'll see when we get to 2023.
2023,
not
baby.
In a little bit, but sometime in the future.
Like a year away, I think.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Probably
But
50
the
episodes.
recording has been 52 minutes. Do we want a pod segment here, or are we good? We had a late start, so I'm kind of cool with us just calling it there.
Kind of hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I have a raid in an hour. Yeah,
Yeah,
think
I
we can
think
call it here for now.
yeah, we'll do that. I mean, the couple of past times we've been like, yeah, let's have a show pod segment here. Like both times, it's been like, oh yeah, it ends up turning into a separate video because this shit was so long. So awesome. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Just
Anything? Yep. Go for
I
it.
saw something fucking wild just now on my YouTube recommended, and I can't fucking believe this is a thing that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Competitive Yokai Watch 2 drove me insane because I did not save edit. It has a hour counter of 694 hours and 20 minutes and 24 seconds.
What is
And it
Yokai
has
Watch? That sounds
Yokai
familiar.
Watch is like a yokai Pokemon game. It's
Ah,
like
okay.
just imagine that. Like it's not exactly that, but imagine that. So basically this guy was competing in Yokai Watch 2. And the reason why he's upset is because it probably took a while to get a good team going.
That's
It's
why.
crazy how when you make a game that is aping another game, you end up making a game that is even more frustrating to build a team in than the game that has like the worst team building ever. Are you?
Worst?
Yeah, like the process of doing it is the worst.
That's
Bro
fair.
has never built a Pokemon team
Oh, I have, but I will say it.
in
Breeding
Showdown.
is the worst part of anything ever. And my in-game teams have. I do not have a lot of competitively viable in-game mons usually. And there's a good reason for that. I hear that they've definitely made it better. Like with time, like you have, I think the most recent DLC in Scarlet Violet, obviously the DLC, has like some machine where you can just play gacha essentially and just get stuff that gets you competitive Pokemon pretty easy. They always
What the
make stuff
fuck?
easier, like the sandwiches and shiny hunting that way, but it's not great. Definitely
Yeah.
not. And shout out Showdown. There's a reason why usually if I play competitive Pokemon, I did it there.
Based. Giga fucking based.
But yeah, I think that'll do it
Nothing else.
for us today with Premium Gold. Next time, join us with Shining Victories, right? What's the set?
Yes, that is the set that
Yeah.
we are playing next.
Shining Victories as well as OTS 1, and then it'll just be OTSs until the end of times. And I will not be including those in the titles because I've realized that complementary sets don't really serve any purpose in the titles because I don't think anybody cares what complementary set we have with each episode, and you will hear it in the deck
That's fine.
breakdowns anyway. We'll still, or at least I'll mention it. So. Don't think that's too big of a change, but regardless, Shining Victories next time, and what's on the line is that the loser gets to pick whether to play Emperor of Darkness or Rise of
boy.
the Dragon Lords.
I sure am glad that I will be getting to play Monarchs in 2 weeks' time.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm kind of whatever. Either that's my issue there because those were initially when they were like those two and then the two pendulum decks in both matchups. Like I was like, I want to play the non-pendulum deck. So, but now with the changes, like the two decks that I actually want to play are now both pitted against each other, and the two that neither I want to play will then be later. But
Damn.
yeah, we'll see what happens with those. Regardless, join us next time to find out the results. And then after the structure deck episode, it is going to be time for anniversary number 2. So pretty exciting stuff.
Oh wow!
A few weeks.
Yeah, that's
And then that's that.
That's way too close. I haven't thought of my decks at all.
Yeah. At this point, expect it to be just the same format as next time, and maybe we'll have something extra special. Maybe some announcements, maybe something there. We'll see. But expect nothing so you don't feel disappointed. But definitely, what I can promise you, what we can promise you, is a collection of decks from the era of episodes 51 through 99, and something to do with that, as well as highlighting some band cards we even now see. So, looking forward to that. But next time we'll see you for Shining Victories. Thank you so very much for merry watch. I think that's what I just said. Awesome, merry watch. That honestly sounds kind of cool. Cool word. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you hopefully next week. So have a good one, y'all, and peace.